Hello students, welcome to all of you in bio classes. Students, today's topic is mitochondria or cell organelle. It is commonly known as powerhouse of the cell. In previous classes, you might be studied about the name powerhouse of the cell. Now, why it is called powerhouse of the cell? And what is the need of powerhouse in a cell? To know that, we will discuss on this cell organelle in detail. In 1890, it was in the name of mitochondria is a plural word. In singular, it is known as mitochondrion, while the plural is mitochondria. In 1897, Benda, a scientist, observed some thread-like structures present in every cell. After many research, he came to the conclusion that these thread-like structures are nothing but the site of energy productions. Now, why the energy is required? As you are comparing the cell with a factory, so in a factory, if production is going on around the clock, so to run a factory, energy is required in a form of electrical energy, so power supply is must. So in cell also, power supply is must in the form of energy. Here the form of energy is ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. So on the basis of these researches, Benda came to the conclusion and named it as mitochondrion, where mitos means thread and chondrion means structure. It is commonly called as powerhouse of the cell. In prokaryotes, it is absent. Not only mitochondria, but all cell membrane bound structures are absent in prokaryotic cells, like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, true nucleus. All these things are absent in a prokaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cells also, like the cell of RBC of mammals, the mitochondria is absent, and because of their absence, the lifespan of RBC is very short, about 115 to 120 days. Now the number of mitochondria per cell varies from 1 to many thousands according to requirement of the need. In growing cells, where energy is more required, the number may be many thousands. But in normally, it varies from 1 to many thousands. As far as shape is concerned, it may be spherical, oval, rod shaped, in many shapes. They possess their own genetic material, that is DNA, and their own ribosomes for protein production, and commonly called as site of energy production in the form of ATP. As far as structure is concerned, they are double membraned cell organelle. The outer membrane is smooth, while the inner membrane is folded and forming finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are called as cristae. These finger-like projections are called as cristae. In plural, it is called as crista. right? Now as far as matrix is concerned, matrix is a mass of jelly-like substance. It contains various enzymes, then sugars, minerals, etc. And moreover, DNA as a genetic material, and ribosome as protein factory. So this is all about the structure of mitochondria. Now we'll discuss about a more aspect about mitochondria, and that is commonly they are called as semi-autonomous cell organelle. What is the meaning of semi-autonomous? Autonomous means self-dependent. The organelle which is self-dependent is known as semi-autonomous. While semi-autonomous means partially dependent and partially independent. So in some cases they are dependent, that is for living, as they are living within the cell, they are dependent. ठीक? But for other aspects like increasing the number, that is replicating from one to many, if the requirement is there, they are capable to take decision to increase their number. That is, from one mitochondria they form many mitochondria, further they form many mitochondria. So for these purposes they are independent. Likewise, ribosome is there, so they can manufacture protein for their survival. So for these functions they are independent. So partially dependent and partially independent. So they are known as semi-autonomous cell organelle. Right? Now the function. The main function of mitochondria is taking part in cellular respiration. Now, what is cellular respiration? The respiration takes place within the cell is known as cellular respiration. And what happens in a respiration? The intake of oxygen and outgoing of carbon dioxide takes place. So this process is also takes place here also. Like in respiration, intake of oxygen takes place and outgoing of CO2. In our respiration also, we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. So mitochondria also perform this function. Now in very short, we will draw an outline of cellular respiration. Suppose this is food present within the cell. This is oxidized in the mitochondria in presence of various enzymes. The process of oxidation takes place and the resultant product is carbon dioxide plus water plus energy in the form of ATP. So here also intake of oxygen and outgoing of carbon dioxide takes place. So this is known as cellular respiration, and the end of which ATP is produced, which is utilized by the various metabolic activities going on within the cell. So because of this function, they are called as powerhouse of the cell, as the energy is produced in the form of ATP, which is utilized by the cell for their various metabolic activities. So on the basis of this, on this function, this is known as commonly powerhouse of the cell. I think it is clear to all of you, and it is more than sufficient as far as your syllabus is concerned. So thank you very much.